Certainly did. Got around the target time for that event.
And now we're talking some pretty fast target times as we move on into these A and B heats. And for those who are sitting here with friends and family at home, this is now being live streamed. So we are now live streaming for the next 8 races of the evening. The next 8 races of the evening will be live streamed. Oh, sorry, the A3000s and the A800s and B800s and B3000s will be live streamed through Athletics Victoria. And for those racing all other grades, those races will be put up eventually in the next couple of days on the Athletic YouTube channel. It's another great job that David Armstrong's been doing up there for us. Covering this meet solo for us tonight. He's putting the video up, he's putting the feed together, and taking the dulcet tones of Tim Crosby and yours truly.
Something cooking though, I can smell something there. It was, no, when we first came over from the 200. Yeah. There was a distinct smell. Yeah. It's smoky too. To me the barbecue was a perfect fundraiser for me. Oh, yes. Yes. I think so, yeah. No, one's definitely always in one. Yeah. 2 is generally in 2, but sometimes you might have 16 of you. 1 and 2. No, it's
okay. Next event on the track is our Women's B. Again, no official pace on here, but we're looking sort of low 60 seconds, I reckon, out for this group. Matisse Lazari of Knox from the inside. Ruby Maher of Box Hill. Connor Gist of Doncaster, Zoe Brito Bapapool of Athletics Nunawading, Lucy Luchford, Collingwood, Ashley Tragus, Box Hill, Jamie Wainwright of Mornington Peninsula, and Melissa Nevolt of Doncaster are your 8 starters in the women's 800B.
On your marks.
So pretty even start away there. Gist and Bapapool looking pretty good on that first bend, and the inside Lazari being quite aggressive also, the Knox Junior. But it is Connor Gist. We've seen her in many of those milers meets with good victories, often in that A race. Likewise, Brito Bapapool, who has often hunted up in those A races, likewise at milers clubs, Tim.
Yeah, they're 2 top seeds and they've gone straight to the front. Just the powerful runner, going through 200 quite nicely there. Just over 30 seconds, that's a good opening 200, Nick.
Yeah, I think prediction here, imagine we would go about a 63, 64 for these girls. We saw Marley Campton do that in the last heat and tied up a little bit, but she was solo. Here there's going to be a pack go through it, whatever pace they choose, which I think's eased off slightly. So I think we're probably looking more around that 60, 64, 65 seconds.
But that's going to set it up beautifully.
It is going to be very good to try and see how close we can go to that 210. So Zoe Brito Bapapool on the outside of Connor Gist. They're side by side through the bell. On the inside, it's Lazari. Then it's Ashley Tragus. Back to Luchford. Mornington Peninsula's Wainwright, Nevolt, and the other Box Hill athlete there in Ruby Maher.
65 split.
65 it was. The Steve Ellinghouse squad well represented in the middle here, but out front at Zoe Brito Bapapool. Connor Gist trying to hang on, but she's dropped about 5 metres back, and the pack behind them is led by Lazari with Ruby Maher and also Ashley Tragus now moving through from Box Hill. But through 200 to go, Zoe Brito Bapapool is moving, and at 1:37 she's on for a quick time, Tim.
Yeah, it's looking good for Bapapool. Guess just holding her own there, and then we're going to see them just dropping from the trees here. Wainwright's one of those in the orange uniform. I think Tragus is also up there. Lazari just drifting back through the field, Nick.
This is fast, Tim. We're looking at a well and truly sub-10. Zoe Brito Bapapool flying through in the yellow spike. She's got 15 metres on Connor Gist. Connor Gist kicking on strong. Look at the clock, 2.5, 2.6, 2.7, unofficial 2.08 for Zoe Brito Bapapool. Connor Gist back into form with 2.11. Lucy Luchford, Ashley Tragus, Jamie Wainwright, Ruby Maher, Matisse Lazari and Melissa Nevolt all inside 2.19 it looked like in this women's B 800 metres.
Great to see the likes of Luchford and Tragus there, Nick, coming through in that midfield. Big runs from them.
Tim, these girls are moving well tonight. The A race now gets really exciting. I know we've got another men's race to come, but with Zoe going 2:08 thereabouts, what will our ladies run in the A grade tonight?
Yeah, no, it's being set up, isn't it? But the conditions now are just about perfect. So
I
no
wonder why.
excuses.
I wonder why we ever need to race at Lakeside again, Tim. Box Hill should be the absolute mecca of Australian distance running, not just Victorian.
Especially when you live across the road.
Very helpful indeed. So, Tim, I'll leave this one to you. There's a standout athlete in the middle there. I can see Kang Nyok there in the pacing colours, and he'll have duties here. Kang, how fast are we going first lap? 55. So 55 we're going here for the field. And, Tim, I'll leave it for you for the introduction.
Thanks, Nick. And I just saw Riley Bryce's face when he heard that, and he thought, I can do that. All right, so we've got a field of 9 plus pace here in the men's B, and it's a great field. In Station 1 from Box Hill, Connor Ogilvie. Station 2 from Glen Huntley, Jason Clayton. Station 3 from South Melbourne, Riley Bryce. Station 4 from Old Scotch, Harrison Carr. Station 5 from Old Melburnians, Angus Donnelly. Station 6 also from Old Melburnians, Spencer Anderson. Station 7 from Yarra Rangers, Harry Norman. Station 8 is Yarra Rangers teammate Harrison Van Duren. And Station 9, from Mornington Peninsula, Ethan Anthony. Kang Nyoak to pace.
On your marks.
So 55 seconds, the goal time. Similar to the C race, but I think there will be more on this at that pack. So it's 55, setting them up for probably about a 53, and that will be a PB for many of these young men. And it's mainly a race of younger gentlemen here, a lot of our up-and-coming 800-metre talent, and that includes Clayton, also Ethan Anthony, young runner from Mornington. Whoop, a little bit of contact there, and Clayton was the recipient of that as he moved back through the field. So it looks like it could be Donnelly, I think, the Old Melburnian. And Spencer Anderson will clarify that as they come through.
It's Donnelly, it is, Tim. Donnelly's the Old Melburnians run on the inside rail.
Yep.
Anderson is the tall, blonde locks on the outside, about 2 out, 2 back.
All right, just gone 50 seconds now, so Kang's right on the money here. So 54, 55, 56 for the pack. Donnelly, Ethan Anthony. We've also got, looks like that's Van Duren, I think, is also up there. Sorry, it's Harry Norman, the Yarra Rangers athlete. To the outside of him is Harrison Carr from Old Scotch. It's really starting to wind up now though, Nick, and it looks like it might be Spencer Anderson from Old Melburnians to make the move.
It is, you're right, it's Spencer Anderson, but in the middle of that pack, Connor Ogilvie, I reckon, might be about to pounce. So Connor Ogilvie, he's been now headed on the outside of him, the South Melbourne athlete, in Riley Bryce. So Riley Bryce is the big mover, and they're stalking out front Spencer Anderson with 150 to go, Tim.
And Harrison Carr also up there, so this is changing complexion with every stride. Harrison Carr now to the outside of Anderson. Bryce starting to wind it up as well. To the inside also is Donnelly from Old Melburnians, but Carr looks like he might have the winning break. Bryce is not over and done with yet. It's going to be a dip finish here. Bryce will take it, 154. Carr, then Anderson, Donnelly, then Ogilvie, back to Van Duren. Then Clayton had a little bit of an incident out there. Ethan Anthony set the pace beautifully, but drifted back in the field. Good running there. Hopefully a few PBs. Riley Bryce, I think, is one of them.
So, Tim, the next one on the track, we'll go to the field shortly, but this is a quality lineup. We're looking at a sub 60-second lap here, the girls, for the pace, so the girls behind them can go through in about 60 seconds. The lineup, though, Tim, is most impressive. From the inside, Catherine Katsanovakis, Australian representative, is your pacemaker. Georgia Hansen, World Junior representative, is next from Box Hill. Morgan Mitchell stepping up to the 800s this season from the 400s, and she's the next athlete in line in 3. In great form also this season, it's Shani Landon from Maccabi. Georgia Griffith, the fastest in the field, Commonwealth Games representative over the 8 and 15, is in lane 5. Sophie O'Sullivan, European under-18 medalist from Glen Huntley. And Sarah Billings returning the track from Melbourne University. Tim, give me a prediction.
Griffith.
On your mark.
That was an appropriate silence, Tim, as they got away. Bit scared to call against anyone here with the calibre of these athletes. And Catherine Katsanavakis in the yellow will try to take through these girls in 59 to see our girls go through in about 60. So Morgan Mitchell with the newly added braids and hair extensions there in second, looking strong. And she's the only one at the moment that wants to go with the pace. Georgia Griffith pushes up to her. She's second in the race. Sophie O'Sullivan with that tight tuck little form. You can see there the tall Glen Hutley athlete next. Hanson, Billings next to her. They're very familiar athletes, trained with each other for a long time, side by side, and then back to Landon. So through 300 metres, Katsanavakis making sure this pace is on. She's represented Australia at various levels over the time, but here she is doing pacing duties this evening. So 50 seconds we are, it's going to be bang on the time, Katsa told us. Morgan Mitchell next, Griffith behind her, Hanson, O'Sullivan, Billings, back to Landon. 59.5 she promised, 59.5 she gave us. Morgan Mitchell being stalked by Georgia Griffith. This is the forerunner being traced by the 1500 metre runner. O'Sullivan next, Hanson and Billings, the World Junior reps from 2016 side by side. Back to Landon, Tim, 300 to go.
Morgan's looking good. Georgia just showing signs of drifting back a little bit. Morgan's looking strong. Hanson's the next one to make a move, followed by Billings. They're looking good out there on the back straight, Nick.
Tim, could this be the big breakthrough run? Morgan Mitchell stepping up in distance. She goes through in 90 seconds. 90 seconds at 2 with 200 to go. Griffith goes past her home squad. That's the Ellinghouse crew with 180 to go. Billings and Hanson go side by side like they have many times before. O'Sullivan and Landon. But out in front it's Mitchell. Griffith is finding a new gear with 100 to go. Griffith swings wide. Can she catch Mitchell? We've talked about it before. It's the 400 runner, the 1500 Commonwealth Games finalist. But it's Morgan Mitchell stepping up big time. 2:03, maybe 2:04. Georgia Griffith battled on strong. Nice return for Billings in 2:07. Hanson about 2:08. O'Sullivan and then also Landon. But Morgan Mitchell, welcome to 2-lap 800 metre racing. You are now in real territory. Liz Matthews and you have done some great work. And we've seen the results there with another PB for Morgan Mitchell over 2 laps. Georgia Griffith, great fight on behind her, returning to form. And we've seen Billings and Hanson also looking good this evening.
That was a good run from Billings. Last run she did, probably not happy with that one, but I think Sarah Billings will be pretty pleased. But what great pacing by Katsa, Nick.
It was outstanding pacing. She told me 59.5 and it was 59.5 exactly as she went through. Morgan probably right on that 60 seconds like we said.
That's right.
So she's
had
gone.
a little gap behind her, but it was just enough. She was in contact, so that set that race up, and then Georgia did what she could to try and bridge the gap, but just didn't have it tonight.
And I'll tell you what, it's a pretty Georgia Griffith off a Commonwealth Games, a bit of an unusual year last year. Outstanding that Commonwealth Games 815 final, and she's just finding her feet again. I'll tell you what, come 8 weeks' time at Nationals, there's going to be some pretty exciting women here racing over the 2 laps, and Victoria will be dominating that field.
No, there's a few good ones in the stands watching tonight too, Nick.
Yeah, we saw last time we were here, we saw Abby Delamotte make a good return. She's one of those.
Certainly is. So exciting times, so I reckon there'll be fireworks at the Nationals and hopefully at the state championships as well. Remember the dual state weekend, 2 weekends of state champs, juniors through to seniors. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I'd love to think that a lot of these athletes won't just be chasing PBs that weekend, but chasing state titles. Terrific weekend of racing, or 2 weekends of racing ahead this year. And that'll be mirrored by the national championships this year, which again return to being a combined national championships. That is a junior and open nationals racing together from April the 1st for 8 days or 7 days this year of quality nationals championships.
Nick, what's Morgan's PB for the 800? You know?
That is her PB, Tim.
2:03.93. Morgan Mitchell gets under the 2:04 mark tonight. Georgia Griffith wouldn't have been too far off that, just the other side of 2:04.
No, fantastic run. Well done, Morgan. Bit of a smile there. She wasn't smiling as much up at Falls Creek for her first winter, but I think she's pretty happy now. Not first winter for her first time, very happy now with a 2:03.9. Coach Matthews, are you happy? A thumbs up, are we happy, Coach Matthews? I think she is.
Matthews here, or is he watching it on live stream, Nick? Alrighty, that's enough for the women. We now move to the men. Lachlan McPherson pacing the men's A. It is once again a top field here at Box Hill for the Box Hill Classic. We have 7 starters plus pacer. In station 2, sorry, lane 2 from St Stephen's, Lachlan Aspinall. In lane 3 from St Kevin's, Adam Pike. Lane 4 from Chilwell, Grant Muir. Sharing lane 4 with the pacemaker.
Just relax, guys, for a minute, thanks.
In lane 5 from Melbourne University, Matt Scott. Lane 6 from Deakin, Mitchell Thompson. Lane 7 from Frankston, Dylan Burrows. Lane 8 from Deakin, Lachlan Barber. And in lane 9 from Old Melburnians, Charlie Langdon.
So 52 is the prediction here, first lap, Tim, 52. Be interesting what some of these guys can kick home in. Matt Scott might be the one here to go super fast tonight. He likes Box Hill and he likes running fast.
And he likes to finish hard too. We see that at our 200 out and you just see Scott explode. So we're just having a look at the start list again. Because Langdon's in as a late starter. We'll make sure everything is fine and ready to go. We don't want to get things wrong with the A race here tonight at Box Hill.
So I hope somewhere in your race call here, Tim, you go with Matt Scott versus the Great Scott.
The Great Scott, the Bald Scott.
For those at home watching, that is Grant Muir there of Athletics Chilwell. Chilwell via Scotland.
Scotland. We've also got Aspinall and also Pike in those inner lanes. Pike's just really starting to get hold of the track again. Had a season off last year, but he's starting to move through now. Thompson loves the win.
You've got some quality 1500 metre men there, and then out wide there, Lachlan Barber. Lachlan Barber, again, another World Junior 800 metre runner from previous years. Back on the track. We are just waiting for one hold here. We'll wait for Ross Cunningham to confirm that we're ready to rock. So momentary pause there as we cross to our comp manager. No, he's not. He never checked. He never entered. People checking and he didn't enter. No, like Steve's trying to do the right thing and let him run.
No, you can't. Not without.
No, you've got to do it.
No,
Mitch did that as well.
Doesn't mean you can't.
Mitch Dyer let him do it.
They're going to let him.
Anyway, here.
Special presentation one.
You asked permission.
So again, we're momentary pause there, but we're ready to go now very shortly. Again, from the inside will be Lachlan Aspinall of St Stephen's, Adam Pike of St Kevin's, Grant Muir of Athletics Chilwell, Matt Scott, Melbourne University, the fastest man this season, Mitchell Thompson, 1500 metre champion previously for Victoria, Dylan Burrows of Frankston, and Lachlan Barber of Deakin, and out wide, Charlie Langdon, Old Melburnians. Ready to go now in the men's A, 800 metres.
We're just waiting on photo finish, guys.
On your mark.
So McPherson is the pacer. He's a 49-second runner decathlete, so multi-eventer. He's got Muir just to the inside of him, Scott to the outside, Langdon in the far lanes. Aspinall's going to settle at the rear, Pike not too far ahead of him, also Thompson. So he's going a little bit too quick there, he's going to have to settle. Scott's gone with him, that's better. So they're all going to bunch up now. So fairly rapid opening, so it's about a 26. So right on target now is the pacemaker. He can start to wind it up. So McPherson pacing Scott, little gap then to Muir. Gap then to Barber and also Langdon. And then the smaller figure there of Pike, followed by Burrows, the 400 hurdler. Mitch Thompson in next position, and then Lockie Aspinall. So pacer coming through nicely, just ticking on to 50 seconds now. So just a shade off pace, they go through in 54. So Scott leading. Often he doesn't come from this position, he'll usually come around the pack later on, but it's Muir now making the moves to get onto his back. Pike not too far behind, then followed by Barber, Langdon, Burrows, Thompson and Aspinall.
It'll be interesting here, Tim, how quick Matt Scott goes. Again, he's leading from the front. The pace here a little bit off as we talked about, but can he negative split this to go that really fast 147 high?
Well, the interest will be if Muir goes with him, and I reckon he will. Muir's really fighting there. Big gap now to Pike, then another gap then to Barber. So Scott is starting to wind it up, but Muir's got the goods to go with him as well. Race in 2 as we come through 100 to go. So Scott, he loves a win. He loves to run here at the Box Hill track, but Muir's not going to let this go. So Scott's going to take it though. Looks like he's got the goods. The interest now on the clock as he comes through. It's going to be about a 149 again. Muir next, then Pike, Barber. Aspinall's come through beautifully. Langdon, Burrows and Thompson.
Great running again there, Tim, as we said. Pace slightly off, but tell you what, Matt Scott's got something pretty fast in this season. He keeps running very quick times. Not off the fastest of first lap paces, but 54 then backs up with a 55. Second lap to go pretty quick. We'll see what continues the rest of the evening. It's 3,000 metre time next. So 3,000 metre runners, you will need to collect your hip numbers from the finish line. Please, the same table where the 800s were. So 3,000 metre runners, you need to collect your hip numbers. You need to collect your hip numbers. Post the finish line. That is the only place you can collect your hip numbers. So all 3,000 metre runners again, your hip numbers need to be collected from Mitch Dyer down at the table beyond the finish line.
Now good news for Matt Scott. He's broken the 159.49 hurdle and gone 148.96. That means Muir's in the 149s, we reckon. Squeaked in there, Muir, 149.92.
Matt Ramsden, when you collect your bib number from the finish line, can you, your hip number, can you please make sure you collect your bib number at the same time? So Matt Ramsden, when you collect your hip number, can you please ensure you collect your bib number at the same time? So again, athletes lining up for 3,000s, can you please collect your hip numbers from post the finish line and then make our way over to the 3K start. That is for all 3Ks this evening. You'll need to collect your hip numbers from the table here post the finish line. So we are about 6 minutes away from the start of our 3Ks. We've been running beautifully to time. Thanks to those Athletics Victoria officials doing an outstanding job. A reminder for all here, the bar is open, the barbecue is cooking. The catering there for Box Hill Athletic Club is outstanding. Please get your way up to the beers and barbecue from Box Hill Athletic Club.
time are the lights being turned on? What time are the lights being turned on?
Next event on the track is event 25, our women's B, 3,000 metres. We'll give you a full race field as they make their way around on the first lap, but it's a field of 16, quality field. We're looking at two of the ladies here, just inside 10 minutes. Can they do that this evening? So from the inside, Scalzonis of Knox, Girardi of Deakin, Seeley of Nunawading, Demio of Chilwell, McBurney, Glen Huntley, Dottermaid, Western Athletics, Weston of Knox, Kerr of Sandringham, Sarah Waters of Deakin. We've got Mester of Wellington, Janetsky of Old Zavarians, Connell of Athletics Essendon, Murray of Diamond Valley, Goldsworthy Williamstown, and Williams of Doncaster. So as we said, anything under 10 minutes this evening would be a very impressive time for the ladies. And it's Seeley who's going to lead the field through first time of asking. On her outside, the Wellington athlete there in Mester, and tucked on the inside, it is one of our Knox athletes, I believe. No, it isn't. It's Chilwell's Demio, of course. Didn't recognise that at all. So Seeley out in front, Demio tucked in behind her, Mester of Wellington, and then it looks like Meg Kerr of Sandringham, one of our fastest seed girls. That Wesley athlete there, now stepping up in distance. Also prominent over the steeplechase this season. But Demio, Seeley and Kerr will be put a little bit of a gap on the rest of the field as we go through one lap of the 7.5 for this ladies 3,000. This is the B grade heat. We're going to follow this with the men's B grade, and then quickly after that will be our two A grade races. We've talked about it a lot already, but for those in the live stream at home, it has been an evening of personal bests. Morgan Mitchell went 2:03.9 in the 800, was very exciting. We saw plenty of 200 metre PBs early in these Box Hill perfect conditions. And now we're looking to see the same as the ladies attempt a sub 10-minute 3,000 metres here with Bridget Seeley pilot in the field through 600. Demio behind her. Then it's also Kerr. From Glen Huntley, it's McBurney. On the outside, Waters. The tall athlete from Essendon there is Lauren Connell. From Diamond Valley, it is Shania Murray. And then a pack still pretty closely formed there, Tim, as we go through 800 shortly, with Waters now setting the tempo up. We're looking, Tim, about that just sub 10 minutes. What sort of pace are we looking for per lap?
I'm actually looking at donuts at the moment. You're looking at that, which is what, the 5-minute pace. It's just under the 82nd laps, I believe.
So 2:35, they've gone through 800. 2:35, they picked up the tempo. Sarah Waters has decided the tempo wasn't quite quick enough, and she's really put a bit of a move on the field. Be interesting to see who matches her here. Demio is still quite comfortable, hasn't wanted to lead yet. Kerr tucked in behind her, McBurney, and also Murray. So Tim, you were enjoying donuts. I'm enjoying a quiet beer beverage here from the Box Hill Barbecue and Beer Stand. What a night of athletics it is as Sarah Waters goes through 1 kilometre in 3 minutes 12. So we're well inside that 10-minute pace. Demio next on the track, Kerr, McBurney, Murray, Seeley, Connell, Goldsworthy.
We're actually on 9:40 pace thereabouts at the moment, Nick. So Waters setting a good pace. Demio, a renowned front runner, but content at the moment just to sit there, and she's taking some good girls with her. There's been a little bit of a crack in the bunch, but Bernie's up there. Looks like Murray's just hanging on back. Gap then to Seeley and then Connell. But certainly stretching out now as we're going into the 2nd kilometre.
I think you're right. The stretched out field, Tim, gives a real indication that the pace is on. Most of these ladies have never gone sub that 10-minute time for 3,000 metres, and tonight they're setting a tempo, and the first 4 are definitely on track to run that sort of time. So Sarah Waters, we saw her sister go around earlier in 800. She's now stepping up over 3,000 this evening. We'll get a track on them soon when they go through.
certainly some good stuff happening in the Waters household because they have been running well. We had, I think, Ryan and Rachel went up to the World Cross Trials and ran an extraordinarily good race. But Sarah doesn't mind leading. She's more experienced, obviously, of the sisters. And now Demio's just launching forward a little bit with Bernie, and then Murray's having a big run there.
Yeah, 78, another 78-second lap. Demio still battling on there. You never can discount her. That style sometimes a little bit deceiving to how strong she is. You're right, Murray looks terrific on the track. Sealy, the early leader, still good, and Kerr's tucked in behind her. Connell looking strong there in the Essendon colours.
I'm going to call it Scalzonis is going to take some scalps. One of our favourites at Miles Cup, Victoria Scalzonis. Just starting to move through, just ahead of Cass Mester, who won the Victorian Country Championships up in Bendigo over 5,000 just on the Australia weekend.
And just behind that, you've got Goldsworthy, one of the talented juniors who's been doing a very good job. Going a bit further distance than her older sister Grace, who likes the one lap.
Correct. So some good stuff happening out there at the moment. So just trying to get a fix on where Murray is. So it's definitely Waters.
So Murray's sitting there in fourth, Tim. So Murray just behind McBurney.
I think the hair colour might change, which is frowning.
So Waters now hits the straight, and she's extended that lead a little bit further. So it's the Geelong athletes out in front. It's Deakin and Chilwell. McBurney of Glen Hutley, the traditional Hunters distance team, they're looking terrific. Shania Murray looking also quite comfortable in fourth. Sealy hasn't changed the tempo from earlier, looks good. Connell, Condigonis. And you're right, Tim, I think your Knox favourite, Scalzonis, is moving through the field really nicely, moving through terrifically. But coming up close to a K to go. What are we? 1,100 metres to go now. Waters with 25 metres on Demio. McBurney moving well. Murray. Connell and Scalzonis, though, in about 5th and 6th, Tim, are the two biggest movers with Condigonis.
Correct. Steph Condigonis is sitting in a good position there just off the back of Connell. And they're starting to just bridge that gap to Sealy and perhaps also to Murray. Big run here from McBurney, though.
6:30, so 6:30, 3:13 first K, 3:17 second K. Waters has pushed the tempo. So Waters here now moves that margin out to about 40 metres. Demio and McBurney are going to really need to work if they want to break that 10-minute time. Murray, Sealy, Connell, Condigonis and Scalzonis. But coming up close with 2 laps to go on Waters, I don't think is going to get headed, but how quick can she go?
Well, I'm looking at McBurney as well. I think she's going to want to move into that second position. Unfortunately, Murray's now being gobbled up by that next pack led by Sealy.
So 7:11 with 2 laps to go. We are on track for something inside her 10:05 seed time. That is for Sarah Waters. Heidi Demio still battling on strongly. McBurney going to join her. Hopefully they can push each other along. Then it's a pack. This pack, if they work together, will move quick. Sealy, Connell, Condigonis, Scalzonis. Murray trying to hang on, try to get back onto them, Shania. Goldsworthy next, also Mester. But now with 700 metres to go, Waters lengthens the margin out to 60. She's not going to get caught from here, but can that pack of 4, who are currently in 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th, can they reel in 2nd and 3rd? McBurney moves into 2nd. Demio goes back to 3rd. Connell is dragging the pack with her. Connell, Sealy, Condigonis and Scalzonis. They're not out of the running here for 2nd place yet on this track. But with 500 to go, Waters is just getting stronger and stronger, Tim.
She had an average year in 2018, but this showing that 2019 Sarah Waters is back. So we're going to see her now in some A races heading off of this performance tonight. So Sarah Waters comes down and she'll get the bell.
And she's going to get the bell, Tim, in about that 8:30 odd. So it's going to be a fast one here. We're imagining about a 9:40 high potentially. We'll see what happens. 8:30 at the bell and Waters kicks again. She looks strong. She lengthens the stride and moves away from this field. She might put 100 metres on them by the end. McBurney next. Sealy and Connell, they have just worked and worked and worked. They've caught Demio. Demio now being joined by Scalzonis, who's getting stronger. Come and try and get more of these girls. Sub 10 minutes if we can. Condigonis next. Murray on the track. Goldsworthy. Mester. And then we go back to Dottermaid, Girardi, Janetsky, and also Williams. But out in front, Waters still long way in front. The gap is to 90 metres. The race for 2nd, as we said. Sealy, the early leader's gone back into 2nd. Connell going with her. McBurney fighting on. Scoutsonis, Demio, Condigonis, Murray, Goldsworthy, Mester. But as they go with 100 left, Sarah Waters flying. She's extended it now to 100 metres. Sealy fighting with Connell in second, and I think they've got McBurney covered. But Sarah Waters, she pushes out wide. She's going to finish in lane 3, and she's going to finish in 9:40 high. But Sarah Waters, what a run, ladies and gentlemen. Bit of a round of applause. 9:45. Kicked home beautifully. A 3:13, a 3:17, and a 3:15 kilometre for her. Wasn't happy with the pace earlier. She pushed it home hard, and she's dragged through. The girls are just going to miss that magic 10-minute mark. But what a great run. Bridget Sealy next home. Lauren Connell outstanding. Juliet McBurney, Scoutsonis, Demio, Condigonis, Murray, Goldsworthy kicking on back strongly there as well. And then we've still got 3 or 4 more on the track. But what great racing here, Tim, in this B ladies 3,000 metres.
Very impressive stuff. It was like watching the pelotons. We saw Sealy and Cole just move that pack through. The chase through some of the early leaders. But the non-runners are coming through now again, including
Mester, Weston and Janetsky. So terrific running, full field there, a great field running this evening. And then we've still got Hannah Williams of Doncaster who's fought on strongly. But great work, you can see the ladies have spent their line on the track. They worked very hard there, but we got what we wanted. We got a fast time from Sarah Waters to win. The ladies B 3,000 metres. A reminder for those athletes who are now lining up for their 3,000s, you need to collect your hip numbers from the table at the finish line. So please do not go to the start line for the 3,000 until you have collected your hip number. Your hip number is collectible from just beyond where the girls are lying on the track now, having put in an amazing effort over 3,000 metres. So all runners who are coming up to a 3,000, please ensure you collect those hip numbers from the table where Mitch Dyer is working so well and truly there for the Box Hill Athletic Club. Another reminder for those that have walked in now, the bar is open, the barbecue is cooking. Please make yourself at home to the lovely Box Hill Athletic Club hospitality. We've spent many nights here this summer and they've all been worthwhile as we come here for Milers Club High Velocity, the White Horse Track Classic, now the Box Hill Classic. It's been an outstanding season of running here as we lead into state championships only a month away. And then obviously the national championships about 8 weeks away as our Victorian distance runners look to dominate again like they have for so long. Of course it is the mecca of distance running, that is Victoria.
I don't have 26. You got 2 copies?
I've only got 1. Do you want me to do the field?
Yeah, I'll do
I'll
the field and
wait till I start.
I'll just tell. Do you want to tell them? Just say that. Say that. Tell them. Because they were waiting for my announcement before. Just tell them you'll call the field.
Michael, could you let them know we'll call the field once they've started? Are they waiting for a call?
Yeah, there's 4. Number 4.
So yet again, just a reminder to athletes, please pick up hidden numbers from the finish line area before proceeding to the start of the 3,000 metres. Pick up hidden numbers over this way, and then go over the start. Otherwise, we're going to have some delays. Pace here, going through on about 2:16. So currently on 8:30 pace. My tip is we might see a little bit of a kick down. Good to see Nick Wall's already hit the barbecue. What's the food like, Nick?
Beautiful, Tim. It's well washed down with the Cooper's pail.
Excellent. Smithers doing a great job. The hockey looking relaxed. Toby O'Brien it is in that next position. The tall figure from Essendon out of uniform.
So, Tim, what do you think here? Isaac Hockey, we used to see a very good junior cross-country runner in his day. Moved on to some amazing 1500s in his under 20 years. A little bit of a lull tonight over the 3,000 distance.
Putting a toe in the water, it's called, Nick, just to see where he's at. Obviously been training well over the injury worries, and hopefully this is going to be the sign of Isaac coming back in mainstream athletics, making his way up to the upper echelon of the national level events. No better place to start than here at Box Hill Classic in the B race.
There's a few of those milers regulars amongst here as well. A few of them a bit unaccustomed to going over 3,000. A lot of 8:15 runners here stepping up. There could be some big PBs amongst the field if you kick down correctly, as you said.
Well, that's right. The pace is good. The two Japanese runners are now out in front.
There are 8:20 men according to their seed times, but they look like they might be a little bit quicker than that.
Yeah, well, originally they were in the aim. If you look at the Euro is the one who's leading from Kawa. Getting into international, sometimes they might have seed times and you don't really know what form they're in, but they are looking nice and working well together, I think, which is going to help the rest of the field. You look at guys like Maisie, then looking back down at the guys like Glenn Huntley, guys like Hamilton, they're going to take most of this.
It was 4:14, so 4:14 at 1500. So they're going to have to do a little bit of work on the back end to get down to those sort of 8:20 times, but it's certainly not beyond doubt with the pack that there's a big train at the front of this race. I still think 8:20 could be on the cards.
Yeah, if it's a kick down, that last one was really, 2.5 laps out, we'll see if it goes down. But that might play in the hands of someone like Hamilton, who does definitely have some good 1500 speed.
I saw him working very hard with Craig Mottram on the weekend at Wattle Park Hills. So if he takes that sort of form today onto the 3,000, he's going to be moving very well with one lap to go. Craig Mottram was walking up and down the hills with Alan Falilla working on the bike. But out in front, it is your two Japanese visitors looking terrific. Isaac Hockey tucked in behind, O'Brien, as you mentioned. Daniel Hamilton, the tall striding figures, the next on the track. Golds, Smith with the customary headband, the performance-enhancing headband, it is, he tells me. And on the back of that pack, two very interesting athletes, Roberts and Lewis. Lewis has run a PB every race this season over 1,500 and 800 in the milers meets. And Roberts is just a gutsy young runner from Diamond Valley.
Well, this is where Toll's got to do the work, though, to keep in contact, because you've got Roberts and Lewis both feeding off the back of him, so Toll doesn't want to lose that pack. Goldsmith's doing beautifully just to sit there on it, and that's really playing to his advantage. So it is interesting to watch all of those juniors at the back, which is Goldsmith, Toll, Roberts, and Lewis. If they can hang on here into the last kilometre, Lewis for sure has the kick down. He's a sub 350, 1,500 metre runner.
Yeah, and a real surprise packet this season. Who thought Steve Fabris would know how to coach a guy over more than one lap, Tim? But he's done a very good job with the group this season and rising fast, led by Will Lewis, are doing very well. 2 laps to go at 6:13, Tim. 6:13, Hamilton looking very good as you predicted.
Lewis just starting to make a move out to Nick, so that was interesting. I think you fired him up when you start to bag his coach, but it was justifiable.
But Isaac Hockey's taken over the reins of the race now. So Isaac Hockey has spread this field out. We now have a little bit of a pack of 4 at the front there, Tim.
Yeah,
and it's
Maisie's
into
up
2
there.
groups as we lead through now with 600 left.
So Maisie's also looking good, and Hamilton, as I said earlier, he's one I really like. And look at that stride from Daniel Hamilton as they're going around onto the bend once again. And he's the one who's going to make the move now. Hockey's still setting the pace, but I think Hamilton will probably settle just behind him. Maisie just looks like he's starting to strain a little bit. Gap then to the Japanese runner, which is Miura.
Isaac Hockey looks like he wants to put more than just a toe in the water here, Tim. He looks like he wants to get a win on this return race on the track. And at the bell, it was 7:18, so 7:18 for Isaac Hockey. We talked about could they go 8:20. They probably won't quite get there, but they are going to go very quick, about 8:25 possible. Dan Hamilton chasing him, the former junior from Hailbury, now stepping up into open ranks, chasing Isaac Hockey. And the pack behind, I think Will Lewis might be the quickest of those to kick home with 300 left. O'Brien chasing Goldsmith, but out in front, it's all Hockey and Hamilton.
So stride for stride, gap about 5 metres at the moment. That probably helps Isaac to know where he is. So Isaac's still holding the ascendancy here, but Daniel's not giving up. But gee, that gap is forming, and Lewis starts to take it now. So Will Lewis, as he said, is a sub 350, I think 349, 95 for the 1500. But Isaac Hockey, as we know, much quicker than that over 15 when he's fully into it. He's going to come down, going wide in the lane though. So Isaac not taking the shortest possible route home. He's going to come through here. So good win. And Isaac will take it out. 8:20 thereabouts. Great run from Hamilton. Lewis will come through. Hopefully that's a PB. Then we've got Edward Austin Marks, our Japanese runner Miura. Then O'Brien, Goldsmith, Maisie, Roberts. So 8:20 thereabouts. Nick, what do you think about that with a mouthful of
I'm impressed with the 62-second lap from Isaac Hockey, to be honest. I think that was a really nice kick down. Very promising signs for the season ahead, Tim. He's one of everyone's favourites on the track, Isaac Hockey. Former Geelong boy, adopted by Melbourne University, but Isaac Hockey returning some good shape. Happy with that one, Isaac? Thumbs up? It was a bit far for him, he reckons, so let's get excited when Isaac returns to the 1500 in coming weeks. But great running in the men's B, 3,000 metres, and coming following this, Tim, the A, men's and women's look to be very exciting indeed.
Certainly do. Good news for Daniel Hamilton, he just smashed his PB, previously 8:40, and well into the 8:20s with that. So we do require the men's 3K A race to get their hip numbers. Any of the men in the A 3,000 metres, please come to the finish line to collect your hip number. And Will Lewis has just chopped his lazy 40 seconds off his PB as well.
Well, you don't run them all that often, I think. I don't know if they do.
Okay, just while they're lined up there, I'll give you a field here for this women's A3000. Abby Caldwell of Doncaster, just doing great things this season. Recently been picked in the world cross-country junior team. Lucinda Rorke of Williamstown, Emily Guy of Athletics Essendon, Tara Palm visiting us, Rarika Hironika from Japan visiting us, Rira Kimura visiting us from Japan, Natalie Rule of Knox, big return 4 years after her junior days, and she's doing great things. Megan Dixon of Athletics Chilwell, Lucinda Buckley of Melbourne University, Kayla Bont, St Kevin's, Stella Radford, the steeplechaser of Melbourne University, Charlotte Wilson, Athletics Essendon, also prominent over the steeple, and Kaya Fry of Frankston. Ladies 3000 A race promises to be an absolute ripper. So again, some real quality in this field. Natalie Rule, looking to have her best season in many years amongst them. Abby Caldwell, the junior, who's done so many great things on the Milers Club meets this season, and also that we talked about that World Cross Country trial just the other week in Canberra, looking good. But it's going to be our Japanese visitor. The tempo out in front. They've lodged some seed times in the low 9 minutes. And of those two Japanese athletes, they are 1 and 2 with Tara Palm at the moment, and Nat Rule tucked in behind them. So Tara Palm there, prominent over multiple distances right up to the half marathon. Had some great 10K performances as well. Has represented Australia at various levels, and she's joined by Natalie Rule and our two Japanese visitors. I would imagine we're looking at a sub 9 minute run for them if they get it right tonight. Stella Radford, we talked about her prominence in the steeplechase. She's the Melbourne University athlete in 5th, the tall figure. Caldwell just behind her. And then there's a pack of very talented Victorian track and cross-country runners. Some coming up from the 1500, some stepping down from XCR seasons like Kaya Fry, who was superb from Frankston. That whole crew of athletes from her squad this season have been running very well. We saw Katie Egan, a member of her crew, outstanding in the New South Wales Championships the other day over 5,000 metres with a personal best. You can't complain about that when you go into state. But who needs to go to Sydney when you can be here running at Box Hill? So again, I'll try to give you a name in a minute, but two of our Japanese athletes, first and second. Just missing a hip number here. I think we've got some pace on in front. We do actually have some pace there. So Taranaka from Japan, she's number 5, and she's got some pace leading through. Tara Palm, then the next one on the track. Natalie Rule behind them, and Stella Radford will pilot the rest of our field. So we are getting pace. We'll wait to see what tempo it is when we go through 1K. But it's a solid tempo. It's a tempo good enough that it's dropped the pack by about 30 metres. So actually there's only 3 race leaders in that group of 4 because we have some pace on. And as we said, it's Taranaka from Japan, who will go through the 800 and 225, or 227 it was. Natalie Rule looking comfortable behind Tara Palm. Tim, you can tell me a little bit more. I've seen her run for Australia. It's a couple of different distances, but a prominent 10K runner as well.
Here's Tara Palm, yeah, and also up to 15K, probably not going to the half marathon. They're on 9:10 pace thereabouts at the moment, so the Japanese girls doing a great job. The recipients of that pacing, as we see, are Palm and also Rule. Gap back into Radford and also Caldwell. But Palm has been having some great stoushes in South Australia recently with Caitlin Adams, and has both lifted them. We've seen Adams now go on to the World Cross Country stage as a result of some of the very good racing Tara Palm has served up to her, both in Victoria and over in South Australia.
So 304, Tim, so 304, so 9:12 tempo through that 1K. If the girls can kick down like the boys did, there's no reason they won't go very close to that 9-minute range.
Now we're seeing some interesting moves too. Lucy Buckley's just starting to come on the side there of Broad, but Stella Radford leading that second pack, and she's got Caldwell and also Wilson just with her. So they're moving along quite nicely too, Nick. So it's moving, the race is setting up very nicely here for the majority of these runners. Just seeing a little bit of a gap between Fry and DeBont. Then we've got Dixon, the second of, or third of the Japanese runners there. So pace certainly on the top 4. They are moving along very nicely. So Nat Rule sitting in that 4th position. She doesn't need to do anything at the moment. The pace is solid. It's sitting at about that 9:10 to 9:15. Let's see if they can just keep that momentum going as they come through. We'll just try and get a time check.
So Tim, 1500 coming up very shortly. And the girls sort of still they've probably dropped back to about a 9:20 tempo here. It's 4:38, so not 9:16.
9:16 thereabouts. So yeah, the pace has come off just slightly. You know, it's only 1 or 2 seconds per lap, but that does count in the overall scheme of things. I'm not sure if we're going to see a huge kick out. If anyone, it could be Rule. Look at the way she's just coming on the shoulder of Tara Palm there, and that to me indicates that Nat Rule is still feeling very comfortable.
I think we're going to expect some good things at the end of this season. That's slowly been building over the last 18 months. As we said, a bit of a breakaway after her attempted World Junior year, and just been building really nicely. A quality stint up at Falls Creek, like many of our Victorians, obviously, but I think her work was a little bit longer than some of the others. And tonight might be the night we see what she can do. I think nice kick down here with some 2 international visitors from Japan. He's setting a solid tempo for Tara Palmer, South Australia, and Nat Rule, our #1 Victorian on the track at the moment, who've put about 60 metres on that pack led by Caldwell.
Yeah, but it's interesting that Caldwell's now leading that pack, and I think they're starting to slowly bridge that gap slightly. So, Abby Caldwell, congratulations to her as well. She's off to Denmark for the World Cross Country, coming 4th in the trial. Rourke's still looking pretty good, sitting off the back of Charlotte Wilson, as Caldwell suddenly gets a 5-metre gap on them. Buckley's still looking pretty good, and it's Radford, also Guy and Fry.
Interesting here, I think Lucinda Rourke's on track for a big PB, Tim. She's a junior on the rise very quickly, and that 9.53 tonight, I imagine, might go if she continues the vein of form that she's in right now.
We'd expect that though, Nick. This is one quality runner. Once again, very well managed over the bridge there with the Matthews stable.
So what are we now? We are at 1K to go. 1K to go, 6.15, Tim. So it's still on for about that 9.20 tempo. There's no reason they can't kick down and give us a little bit quicker.
But guess what? It's Tara Palm who's taking the lead here. So that's a good move by Palm. She is a brave runner. Tara does not leave anything out there. We've seen that a few times this year, this season in Victoria.
And I may have incorrectly called here. I thought that was a pacemaker working there, but can't give you a name for it. But our second Japanese competitor here is still hanging on. She's not just pacemaking her teammate through. So Tara Palm goes through. We do have a name there, and is it Hironaka from Japan, and Natalie Rule, the 4th of that group. And as we said, Abby Caldwell now made a bit of a split away from Charlotte Wilson and also Lucinda Rourke.
So Rourke's in a good position there, just off the back of Wilson. That will drag her through, and it could be an interesting last lap between those two. Buckley's got the 800, 1500 metre speed, but can she sustain this 3000? Fry's starting to make a move. She's taking Guy with her.
But out in front, Tara Palm still controlling the field. 600 metres remaining, and they're going to go through in 7:22. So Palm, they haven't let her go though. Rule, as we said, just ready to strike at any stage. Will it be the bell that gives her the big spur on? Abby Caldwell, the only one really challenging from behind that. Wilson, Rourke, and also Radford, and there's a pack there with Fry and also Guy. But out in front, Tara Palm, 500 metres remaining. Our 2 Japanese visitors in 2nd and 3rd, looking very comfortable. But I don't know if they're going to have the kick-down pace that we're going to see from Natalie Rule. Hope I haven't talked it up, but with 1 lap to go at 8 minutes, the girls are on track for a 9:10, 9:15. 8 minutes at the bell, Tara Palm leads them. Natalie Rule sitting 4th. The capped runner there, I can tell you. Her name is Rurika Hironaka. I do not have a name for the other Japanese competitor, I apologise. But Tara Palm with 300 to go, stalked by Japan in 2 and 3. Natalie Rule of Knox in 4.
So Rule's starting to make the move now, Nick. You did predict this. She's the one that's sitting there comfortably, and she's made a big move down the outside. About to challenge Palm, but don't put the glasses down on Palm. She is a fighter.
Natalie Rule, though, with 200 to go. She's got a beautiful stride, and she's opened up. As expected, we still don't have that Japanese competitor, and she's the one that's going to challenge. And just behind her, it's Hironaka. It's Rurika Hironaka from Japan. She came with a 9:10 seed time. She's the capped runner from Japan. In 2nd, Tara Palm fighting on hard in 3rd, or in 4th, but it won't quite be enough because Natalie Rule from Knox, she's going to take away this victory. It won't be near a personal best, but it was a beautifully paced run, and it's been a big kick down, Tim. They are going to finish in 9:07, 9:08. Great running, ladies. Tara Palm in just on 9:11. Terrific racing.
It was good racing. That top 4, that really was impressive. They shared the lead around. No one just sat back. Well, maybe we all sat back for the majority of the journey, but that was a good strategy. As we see Abby Caldwell coming through now. Clock's just going to go over the wrong side of 9:30 for Abby. So Charlotte Wilson will be in the next position. Gee, they're coming from the clouds now too. As Rourke holds in possession, next position. Guy. Then we've got Buckley, and then the next of our Japanese runners, which is
Kimura.
And then Fry and Radford and Dixon coming into the straight for the last time to round out the field.
No, look, Tim, what a great race that was. We've seen some PBs in the middle of the field, plenty of PBs in the middle of the field. Abby Caldwell right on her personal best there, almost bang on 9:33, which I don't think she can complain about considering it's been a very busy preparation with that World Cross trial. And obviously Megan Dixon there, just a tick over 10 minutes to round out a quality ladies A race that was won by Natalie Rule of Knox.
You're doing a good job there. Making mistakes sometimes. It's easy to, especially when they're close.
You were the work close.
Previous races, they weren't huge mistakes. One of them I could probably got over the line. The other one was about maybe a foot or 2 feet before the line. But that was in the later part of the field. The electronic time was working up.
So this is the A race for the men, so
Yep.
there should be 14 plus whatever.
See, you ready? You're ready?
Oh, just a couple of minutes away from a start here in event 28. It's pretty hard to say it's the highlight of the evening, but I think we can potentially say that if the lads live up to what the field is. And that field is Matthew Hussey of Western Athletics, very prominent junior. Nick Baggett of Box Hill, Will Potter Box Hill, Tom Thorpe backing up after the 800 St Stephen's Harriers, Tom Forthorpe of Ringwood, national 1500 metre medalist, Riley Shaw of Melbourne University, Ben Buckingham of St Stephen's Harriers, Matthew Ramsden, the sub-8 minute man here from Western Australia, Nick Earl of Melbourne University, Andre Waring of Box Hill, Harry Summers of Box Hill, James Coleman, St Stephen's, Sean Tobin and James Hanson. Quality field of 14, the men's A race of the 3,000 metres. Can we get a few men under the 8 minute target time tonight? Hope if the pace is on early, we'll be able to tell you very shortly. So straight out to the front there, it looks to be Buckingham, the steeplechaser. We've got 2 paces. We'll tell you who they are shortly. We've got 3 paces. So this race is serious, ladies and gentlemen, tonight. This is genuine quality international athletes here. Harry Summers, all sorts of different distances he goes over. He's the athlete, of course, coached by Steve Deneen, who's put so much work into running tonight's meet. Ramsden's the tall figure, number 39 in the Nike singlet behind them. Buckingham, and also behind them is Sean Tobin. James Hanson of Tasmania in behind them, a 1500 metre man. Forthorpe, Ringwood also a very good 1500 metre man. Couple of strong juniors. Andre Waring, your weatherman Nick Earl amongst them. Potter, a Victorian cross country representative. The field goes on and on and on. With at the back of it, Tom Thorpe, as I said, 1500 metre PB shape all season.
So Aspinall leads it as the lead pacemaker. DJ Gebrselassie, Australian representative in the half marathon in Valencia in 2018. He's in the blue shorts. I haven't seen that fashion statement from DJ. Doesn't quite go over his top. But DJ in second. Then it's Oscar, another one of our Box Hill runners in the 3rd position. So they're setting a good pace. And Harry Summers, for all intents and purposes, is the one they are pacing at the moment. But Ramsden, the taller figure in the Nike kit, not too far off the back. Then Buckingham.
Tell me a bit about Sean Tobin, Tim, please, as they go through in 135 for 600.
Well, he's Irish and he likes Guinness. That's about all I know.
So Sean Tobin's the Irishman. Surprisingly, he's the red-headed Irishman that is in 5th on the track at the moment. Oscar, you talked about, he's actually one of the heating up boys from Geelong.
Oscar
Mazaraki.
Mazaraki, oh beautiful. So Oscar's done a good job. Tobin actually did really well at the European cross country. I think he was 14th at European cross. So he is a good international level performer, and we are seeing quite a polished performance from him as we see him bridge that gap towards Buckingham and the lead group.
And 63-second laps they're tracking through it, Tim. What's 63-second laps going to give us? You can do some maths for me at some stage. But at the front, then the pacemakers are spot on.
Well, 63s is sub 8 minutes, so you're looking around that 8:52 thereabouts at the moment. So Aspinall, we saw him before in the 800 metres in that A race, and look at Lockie Aspinall go. So DJ's just sort of drifting back a little bit. Aspinall's taking the main pace duties.
Tim, Harry Summers looks really good there in second. We've seen him run various, as I said, I call him enigmatic, but he seems to have got a little bit of control recently wearing that Deneen runner singlet. Steve might have controlled the enigmatic nature of Harry Summers.
Well, hats off to Steve, because not only has he got the enigmatic Harry Summers, he also deals with the DJ Everest Leslie. Now, if you've got a dynamic duo in Australian athletics, that is the two. DJ drifting back to the lead pack. Hanson might be up there as well at the moment. Now, Harry Summers leads. Ramsden right on him. Buckingham, Tobin. Just can't identify the runner behind Tobin. Nick, have you got him?
So we've now had those pacemakers step off the track. They can't keep this sub 8 minute tempo. It's Summers, Ramsden, Buckingham, Tobin looking still terrific, Hanson the Tasmanian, Riley Shaw of Melbourne University, Gebra Celesti trying to help him out. So they're now moving. There's a real kick down obvious. When you lose your pacemakers, Tim, this early in the race, you know it's on. So Ramsden, the Melbourne Track Club, man, he's the tallest of them. At Nitro, he was outstanding 2 years ago. Geez, we missed that event. Buckingham in third. They're chasing Summers. Hanson's in the next pack with Tobin and Shaw. Can they hang on? Forthorpe and Waring next on the track.
Yeah, well, the interesting thing here is that next pack, and Hanson's trying to bridge the gap, and I can tell that Riley Shaw's actually got a lot of juice left in the tank. He's just sitting off the back of Tobin, but I think he's got a bit of give here and could make a bit of a bridge, but it's really Hanson who's trying to make it up to the back of Buckingham as we see Summers just starting to extend the lead slightly over Ramsden. Buckingham in perfect position.
Hanson's the one that's doing the most work, Tim, to make sure he stays with him though. We know he's got some dangerous speed. If he can hang on long enough and he hasn't had to do too much, can he kick down with him? Tobin, as we talked about, very prominent over the cross-country distance for Ireland. And Riley Shaw. But Harry Summers has now put 5 metres on Ramsden. Buckingham tracking them behind them. Tobin, Hanson, and also Riley Shaw.
Gap then to Waring and also Tommy Thorthorpe. Then another gap back to James Coleman. Matt Hussey's up there. Nick Earl and Potter to the outside. So Summers extending this lead rather extraordinary. He is just getting better as the race goes on, Nick.
He's looking terrific. And remember, this is his home track now, Tim. So familiar with running laps and laps around here. And he's kicking down just like training with those Deneen runners. So out in front, the Deneen runners singlet. It's pretty appropriate maybe that it leads tonight after all the hard work Steve Deneen's put into hosting this meet this evening. But it's Harry Summers in front. They're going to get 2 laps to go shortly. Ramsden next on the track. Buckingham. Hanson's making a really good move. I love the move that James Hanson making. The Taswegian is looking terrific. But right now it is Ramsden, Hanson, Buckingham trying to chase. Riley Shaw and Paul Tobin also looking terrific. Waring and Forthorpe, not in the race for victory, but still trying to race. But Summers has pushed it out to 30 metres. Can Hanson or Ramsden catch him?
Yeah, but look at Buckingham as well. Nick, he's just sitting in there. He hasn't done much of the work. And can Ben Buckingham, he's a good 1,500 metre runner. He might have some gas in the last stage of this race. Gap then to Tobin and Shaw. Shaw got just ahead of Tobin. Now drifting back slightly as we get into the last couple of laps. But Harry Summers, how good's he look, Nick? He's
looking terrific. I like the. He looks a lot better when he's got shoes on, Tim. We saw him with the old barefoots back in the day, but he's got shoes on pretty appropriate. These osteopath coaches got him in shoes. So 6:30 it is, 6:30. How quick can Summers go? Ramsden's trying to wind up and he's taking Hanson and Buckingham with him. Buckingham looks just as good here over the flat 3 as he does over the 3,000 steeple. Tobin making another move, but with 1 lap to go, ladies and gentlemen, let's get behind your leader, Harry Summers. He's got the #1 bib on. He's going to be #1 tonight. Ramsden winds it up with Hanson and Buckingham. We're going to have 4 under 8 minutes. Tobin still on track for a sub-8. Riley Shaw winding up. Waring being joined by Potter Forthorpe. But out in front, Summers. How quick will it go? 30 metres is the gap with 300 to go. Ramsden kicking. Hanson going with him. Buckingham, that long stride looking terrific. 2:50 remaining, it's all Harry Summers.
So Hansen's made the big move there. The back straight is going crazy. We want the same in the home straight as they come down here. We're going to see some impressive times here at the Box Hill track. Harry Summers leads from Hansen, Ramsden, Buckingham.
And get on your feet, ladies and gentlemen. This is international class running. Get him a big cheer. Harry Summers, Ramsden winding up from a long way back. The tall Melbourne Track Club boy flying home. Summers holding on. Ramsden's going for it. But Harry Summers, 7:50 on the 7:51. Ramsden second. Buckingham and Hansen 7:53. Tobin, can he dip under 8 minutes? Right on it he does. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sub 8 minutes at Box Hill. Riley Shaw's next. Potter across the line. What a group. What a great night. Harry Summers continues the fine vein of form. Steve Deneen, well done. Matthew Ramsden was going to do some very exciting things over 1,500 this season. James Hansen showing, I'm sure that's a PB for 3,000. Paul Tobin, visitor from Ireland, terrific. But what a field. Men's 3,000 metres, Tim, here at the Box Hill Track Classic. Thank you, Box Hill, for putting this event on.
5 sub 8 minutes. I've been around a long time. I haven't seen that at a domestic meet in Victoria for a long time. I think you'd have to go back to the Steve Austin, Tim O'Shaughnessy. Wow.
I'm about to say, the last time I reckon we had a quality pack like that running down the back straight, it might have been Cinders, there was cars parked there, and I think it might have been maybe an O'Shaughnessy and Peter Fuller running around the back straight.
I reckon it would have been with their Morris Miners coming to the track.
It would have been. Wow.
That is so exciting, and hopefully that sets up some of the other 3,000 metre events. You're not going to get excited by that, and nothing's going to get you going. Hansen, what a run. First time at sub 8 minutes.
11-second PB for James Hansen as he wanders past me. 11-second PB. How quick's he going to go over 1,500 this year? This is seriously good, ladies and gentlemen. This is exactly why we're putting on a meet for the athletes. 8-second PB for Ben Buckingham. It just keeps going and going and going, Tim.
Yeah, and he didn't do any work either, Ben Buckingham. He just sat there.
He did sit there beautifully, though. The next event on the track, though, Tim's ready to go. I don't have a start list. I hope you do, because the ladies are lined up for the next race, which is going to be just as exciting, which is the Women's C.
Spot on. So let's move on to the Women's C, and we do have 17 starters. Sophie O'Sullivan to pace it. Station 1 from Yarra Ranges, Lauren Starr. Station 2 from Geelong Guild, Olivia Richardson. Station 3 from Frankston, Bella Eno. Station 4 from Geelong Guild, Sophie Coltish. Station 5 from Diamond Valley, Jess Campbell. Station 6 from San